One of the big mysteries in Peppa's world is the fact that humans exist, but almost never show up. Have you noticed that Evie's birth might bring new kids into Peppa's universe?
What?
Evie Pig. Over the past few months, the whole world has been surprised by the arrival of Evie Pig, Peppa's new baby sister. But what most people haven't noticed is that this new character's arrival will bring a lot of changes to the show. One of them is the arrival of human characters. But how do we know that? Honestly, it's pretty easy to explain. Mummy Pig's pregnancy announcement was made on real-world TV, and on the day Evie was born, a royal family messenger was used to announce the new character. All of this happened on the streets of London, and it was the first time ever that characters from Peppa's universe talked to real-world people. That means Evie's arrival is changing an important rule in the show, and from now on, humans are going to start showing up more often in the cartoon. It's very likely that Evie Pig will have some friends who are human and will appear in upcoming episodes. That means new characters will start living in Peppa's town, and they'll be human kids. That also means you're about to find out everything about the mystery of human kids in Peppa's world. Another Cinewave is starting now. Books. Did you know there are official Peppa books where human kids appear? And even better, they're real people. There are some official books from the show called Peppa and Me. The idea behind these books is for fans who love Peppa's world to send photos to the production team. That way, the creators design a character that looks just like you. That means that in Peppa's universe, there are already human kids going on adventures with Peppa and her friends, which means it won't be long before the Peppa show starts featuring more humans in future episodes. Could Evie Pig's new friend be a real person? There's a big chance it could be someone famous. That's because if the books feature real-life people turned into Peppa characters, there's nothing stopping someone everybody knows from becoming a Peppa character too. But who could it be? That's another mystery. Swimming. Still talking about the Peppa books, one of them focuses on swimming lessons. In this story, the human child has to learn how to swim with Peppa, and we all know Peppa can be a great teacher. You might remember in the episode Swimming, Daddy Pig takes the family to the town pool. In that story, our little pig still needs arm floaties for safety, but Daddy Pig teaches her to not be afraid. What does this mean? The big reveal is that in the book, we find out that the human character was actually there at the pool during that episode, and Peppa's mysterious friend learns how to swim. In upcoming episodes, human kids are definitely going to start showing up, and fans will realize they've always been there. And we know what you're thinking now. Wait, how could humans always have been a part of the show if we've never seen them? It's super simple. That's just how things work in Peppa's town. There are friends that everyone knows exist, but they don't live close to the main characters. That's how it is for Aunt Dottie, Mrs. Badger, Mrs. Cow's daughter, and others. Nothing says human kids haven't always existed in Peppa's universe. And soon, we're going to show you that they've already appeared. You just didn't notice. So, stay with us in this video. Would you like to be a Peppa Pig character? Comment with #Peppa so we can get to know ya. School. Another story that involves mysterious human kids in Peppa's universe happened in the adventure Going to School, when our main character has another school day with Madame Gazelle. In this story, Peppa's teacher teaches the kids about letters and numbers, and later, during recess, they head outside where Peppa teaches her human friend how to jump in muddy puddles, our main character's favorite game. Even Madame Gazelle joins in on the fun, which is super cool. But why is this story so important? If you pay close attention, you'll see that the human character is one of Peppa's classmates, and that means at Peppa's school, there are many other students, and some of them are humans. In upcoming episodes, we might get to meet these friends of Peppa and find out if they have human families living in Peppa's town. If that turns out to be true, then get ready for a big change in the Pig family's universe, because now human kids are going to be Madame Gazelle's students. Would you like to be one of Peppa's classmates? Daisy. Actually, we already know one of our favorite Piggy's human friends. Her name is Daisy, and she's one of the characters from the official Peppa Pig stage play, which is performed at one of Peppa's theme parks. Daisy arrives in Peppa's town on a normal day, but she's lost because she doesn't know the area. The girl needs to get to school for her very first day of class. That's when Pedro, Pony, and George help Daisy get to school. After meeting Madame Gazelle and having a day of lessons, the human girl takes the bus with them to the forest, because Peppa's friends are going camping. Do you remember the episode where Peppa's class went to the woods to set up tents and go camping? According to the stage play, Daisy was there. Do you get how mysterious that is? Why have we never seen this girl in the show? In upcoming episodes, there's a very good chance this character will show up along with Peppa's new friends, but the show will need to explain this mystery of where the humans are hiding somewhere in the town. Farm Girl. There's another human character who showed up in the series episodes, but very few people noticed. During Peppa's trip to New York, there's a huge billboard in Times Square showing a farm girl standing next to some sheep. This girl is a human child, and apparently she lives on a farm. If there's a giant billboard of her in such a famous place like Times Square, that means she's famous, maybe even a TV star. Another piece of evidence is that this human girl appears again in the episode Children's Festival when Peppa and her family go enjoy the day at the town park. She's on another billboard along with Pirate Redbeard and a wild cow, once again showing that she's a girl who lives with animals. Could this character live with Mrs. Badger? It's possible, since both of them are farmers. This girl could appear in future episodes. Do you believe that? And we can't believe you're still not subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily videos. Princess. Now let's talk about some characters who are definitely going to show up soon in upcoming episodes. The princes of England, like the Queen's grandkids and great-grandkids. You know that in Peppa's world, there's a character who rules the entire country? It's Queen Elizabeth, who everyone thought lived all alone in Buckingham Palace. When Peppa and her friends go visit Her Majesty, she's completely alone in the palace. And for a long time, fans believed there were no other human characters. But that all changed with the birth of Evie Pig. The new little piggy was announced by a royal messenger, probably because Queen Elizabeth ordered the announcement. But that's not all, and now you're going to understand why the princes are about to appear in the show. Evie Pig was born at the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital in London, the exact same place where the princes of England were born. That's a clue that in the future, the Queen and Peppa show will introduce her family to the main characters, and of course, they'll be humans. It's super important to think about this because there are theories that Evie Pig might become the new princess of the Piggy universe. So meeting the royal family would feel totally natural for Peppa's little sister. Are you ready to meet these new characters? Santa Claus. Now let's think about something super simple when it comes to Peppa's world. Santa Claus exists, right? And that means he travels all over delivering presents to kids. Santa is a human character, and that's a clue that he delivers presents to human children too. In fact, it's very possible that some of Santa's helpers are actually human kids, but Peppa's friends just think they're elves. But here's the mystery. Peppa travels to so many places around the world like New York, Texas, London, Paris, Rome, and even Australia, but in none of these cities do we see human characters. No adults, no kids. Yes, we know that in New York the farm girl appears, but that only happens on a billboard. But it's very likely that new human kids will show up in future episodes next season. This makes sense because in Peppa's world, there are already 6 different Christmas stories. So it's more than obvious that Santa Claus will come back and we'll see him delivering presents all over the world. But when that episode airs on TV, will the cartoon finally show more human kids? That would be a huge change for the show. Mystery. Another big mystery about human characters in Peppa Pig shows up in some really important places and creates a huge question. If the world is run by animals, then why are humans the ones appearing on statues and coins? In the episode where George is with Grandpa Pig, the little pig finds an old coin, and if you look closely, you'll notice that this tiny piece of gold has a human face engraved on it. In the New York episode, when Peppa is standing on top of a building, she looks out at the Statue of Liberty, but instead of being an animal like the characters from Peppa's universe, the statue is a human. That's a huge mystery because in Peppa's world, human characters almost never appear. But when they do show up in episodes, they're always super important. The Queen is human, Santa Claus too, and the other person we've seen is Pirate Redbeard, who's the captain of a treasure-filled ship. That means humans are very important and very powerful in Peppa's world. But if they almost never appear, it could be a clue that they all live somewhere far away where animals aren't allowed. Maybe it's a super rich place like a paradise made just for humans. If that's true, then that theory about humans being extinct is wrong. What do you think about that? We think it's time for you to keep having fun with our channel. That's why we've picked out 2 more videos for everyone to enjoy. We'll see you in the next video. See you soon!